Hi, I'm Basma from Group 4. I will talk about gastrointestinal motility. Gastrointestinal motility refers to the contraction of the smooth muscle of gastrointestinal tract. The gastrointestinal tract is commonly divided into 5 parts: mouth, esophagus, stomach, small and large intestine. These parts are separated from each other by a special muscle called sphincter, which normally stay tightly closed and regulate the movement of food and food residue from one part to another. Each part of gastrointestinal tract has a unique function to perform in digestion. So let's start with motility in mouth and the esophagus. The swelling that occurs in mouth and the upper part of esophagus can be divided into 3 phases. Voluntary phase. A bolus or mass of food is formed in the mouth. This mass of food pushed by the tongue against the hard palate, forcing the bolus towards the posterior part of the mouth and into the oropharynx. Pharyngeal phase is a reflex that initiated when a bolus of food stimulates the tactile receptor in the oropharynx. The soft palate is elevated, which closes the passage between nasopharynx and oropharynx. The pharynx elevates to receive the bolus of food from the mouth. 3 pharyngeal constrictor muscles then contract in succession, forcing the food through the pharynx. At the same time, upper esophageal sphincter relax, and the food is pushed into esophagus. Esophageal phase. Muscular constriction, collectively called peristalsis, occur in the wall of the esophagus. The circular esophageal muscle ahead of the bolus of food relaxes, allowing the digestive tract to expand. A wave of strong contraction of the circular muscle behind the bolus of food occurs. The bolus is propelled through the esophagus. The lower esophageal sphincter in the esophagus relaxes as the peristaltic waves approach the stomach. The presence of food in the esophagus stimulates the enteric plexus, which control peristalsis through local reflexes. Motor impulses pass along the efferent fiber of vagus nerve to the striated and smooth muscle within the esophagus, which stimulates their peristaltic contraction. So, motility in the stomach. As we know, the stomach in ruminant is composed of 4 compartments: rumen, reticulum, omasum, and abomasum. When bolus come from esophagus to rumen, bacteria, fungi, and yeast work on it. Small parts pass to reticulum, undigested part back to the mouth. So rumination is ingesta travels from ruminal reticulum to mouth. Primary contraction. Mixing cycle. Mixing of ingesta enable adequate microbial digestion. Mix feed with saliva. Maceration of fibers material. Stratification of ruminant content: fluid, fibrous mat, gas cap. Ruminal contraction heard of and felt from left paralumbar fossa, normal rate 2 to 5 in 2 minutes. Controlled by gastric center in medulla, mediated by vasovagal reflex. Rate increases with showing sight of food and taken in feed, causing mild distension. So, secondary contraction mediated with vagovagal reflex results in erucation stimulated by the distension. Rumination, reverse peristaltic following reticular contraction stimulated by Corrèze ingesta, mediated by vagovagal reflex. So, omasum, small particles contents aspirated into omasum during biphasic reticular contraction. Fluid passes to abomasum during omasal contraction. Abomasum, it is the true stomach where digestive fluid and acid secrete. Motility in the small intestine. The small intestine undergoes segmental contraction and peristaltic waves. Segmental contraction occurs for short distance only along the small intestine. Peristaltic waves occur for variable distance to cause the chyme to move along the small intestine. Local reflexes are the most important regulators of contraction in the small intestine. The ileocecal sphincter remains contracted most of the time. When the cecum is full, increased constriction of the sphincter prevent chyme from entering. Motility in the large intestine. The large intestine undergoes mass movement, which is a strong peristaltic contraction in the circular mass in the large parts of the transverse and ascending colon. Mass movement are stimulated by irritation and distension of the colon, local reflexes in the enteric plexus, and intense parasympathetic stimulation. Mass movement is responsible for the sudden distension of the rectum that triggers defecation. The circular mass contracts simultaneously with tinea coli of the colon wall to cause constriction and shortening of the colon. This results in the formation of haustra. Haustra are pouches formed in the colon wall along its length, giving the colon puckered appearance. Local reflexes regulate haustra formation. The thought or smell of food, distension of the stomach, and the movement of chyme into the duodenum can stimulate the gastrocolic and duodenocolic reflexes. The defecation reflex remove undigested feces from the body. It is a spinal reflex triggered by distension of the rectum. The smooth muscle of the internal and anal sphincter relaxes. Peristaltic contraction in the rectum push material toward the anus. At the same time, the external anal sphincter is consciously relaxed in the situation if the situation is appropriate. Defecation can be added by conscious abdominal contraction and forced expiratory movement against closed glutes. Stress can increase intestinal motility and cause spasmodic diarrhea or constipation. Regulation of GIT motility. GIT motility is regulated in three ways: long reflexes that originate outside the digestive system, short reflexes that originate inside the digestive system, gastrointestinal peptides, cholecytokinin, secretin, motilinin, glycogen-like peptide 1. G peptides excite or inhibit motility and can cause altered peristaltic activity, contraction of the gallbladder for bile release, regulate gastric emptying to maximize digestion and absorption. Thank you for listening.